Hello, all shop fans. Welcome. It's a third week in a row that I'm getting to do a video. It's early Friday morning, November the 2nd. I hope everybody had a happy and safe Halloween. This is what's going on this week. We've got actually a lot of stuff going on. So first off, we'll start with Brad and Mary Camp's car. This is just being finished up, wet sanded, and next week it will be going to the upholsterer shop. And once it really comes back, I'm going to be finishing up the weapons box. And, we got to get the exhaust and alignment done on this. And really, we'll do a little bit of road testing on it since I was informed Brad was here. He came to visit us, and he was here Monday. And basically, I was informed that this car only had about 10 miles on it after he bought it. So it's just come along so nice, and very proud of it, the way it's turning out. And like I said, all the dash is done. Now, it's going to get the headliner, the seats done, all the sound deadener, everything. So then it will be rocking and rolling, and we'll be able to get this one out of here. Yay. So that's what's going on here with Venator. This is a car that came in, got hit by a deer. Deer are running rampant out here. In fact, today I about hit one in the broad daylight. So the convertible, the Galaxy, this thing has been repainted. It had some little issues, and basically this is the story on this car. The people that we've known forever picked a custom color. And when I shouldn't say it's custom color, it was not a color that was back in 1969. This actually came off the color is off a Camry. I'm not sure what 2000 something Camry. And it's got pearl in it. And it is very, as Dawn said, a bitch to lay down. And because if you don't do it right, then when you're inside the paint booth, it looks fine. And then you put the clear on it, and then you start seeing stuff, especially if you're out in the daylight, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb. And so it got repainted, and Don's even been repainting some. I think this car really, Don's messed with it more, probably close to, oh my God, 3 times. And this thing is huge. This thing is literally bigger than the 67 Impala 4-door hardtops. This thing is a monster, and it's just because of the paint. And Don swears to God he will never, ever, ever paint this color again. So anybody's wanting this custom Camry, pearl, blue, whatever, it ain't going to happen at this shop. So it's just been a pain in Don's ass. We're going to come over and talk about Sammy. This is owned by John and down in Florida. And the car is, now of course, the video when it's coming here, but the dash and everything's all done. The glove box liner's in. Everything is in this car and all painted up, and it's gorgeous. So what's going to happen here, I'm going to kind of show you guys. So Sammy's headliner is in really, really good shape. Now it's original. So what's going to happen is that I told John, I said, listen, man, I said, you could get by probably with this headliner. Now he bought a new headliner, but to save him money, we're just going to put the new headliner, we're going to put it in the weapons box, and he'll have it in case this thing goes bad. Then all he's got to do is take it down to an upholsterer shop, boom, boom, and there you go. But there's no really reason to spend money on it now. And so we got everything the same. He's got, I believe, everything for this car. New visors, brackets, everything. So we're going to put all that in, and we got new cell panels, and they're going to be, so we're going to dye everything, get it all installed, and basically the seats, and probably these panels right here, these are called the windlace panels, and these windlace panels are going to get redone. And there's cars here that pretty much like, okay, Sammy, the Cajun Queen up there, which I'm going to get to. Of course, Venator's done. We've got our personal car over here, and then we've got lots of them in the back. They all need new package trays. And the package tray, and I don't know if I've explained this before in videos, but let me see if I can come down in here. But you see that lip that goes up? I need a package tray, a stock package tray, so that way there's not that gap when I put the wood down and all that stuff. So I'm just going to, basically, I've talked to John, I've talked to Cassie, I just talked to Rod. We've been texting. Rod's got a car in our back holding cell that's going to be coming up and getting redone. And so I'm just going to do a big, huge order of package trays, and then I'll send everybody a bill what the package tray comes to. And then that way I can start getting all the package trays installed. And we're going to get John's stereo. It'll all be hooked up here soon, but we're not going to do that until we get the interior sprayed. I mean, the stereo's all wired up. We're just not going to put the speakers and stuff into Sammy right now. And then of course we got everything covered up over here, so that way no overspray and stuff gets on it. There has been some painting out here this week. So there's actually some cars that are in our back area, and we're just got them back there. I know if Scott is watching this video, he's probably, where in the hell is my car? And also my buddy Jeff. You guys' cars are still in the holding cell waiting for the package trays. And the reason for that is because the things that are going on out here, I don't want nothing to happen to you guys' cars. And because there's been this crazy shit going on. Things get painted all the time out here. And so what we're doing is we're just trying to, the little Dodge here that got hit by a deer, it's done. It's going to be out of here. Obviously, Venator is going to be leaving this week, coming up next week. So because it's going to get upholstery and stuff, so that clears out 2 spots. And hopefully Don will get this one done here real quick so this can go and get finished out at the other shop. But so that's going to leave this area all right here. And then I'm bringing in the Moose, which is owned by my Jeff number 2 up in Canada. And then Scotty's Brandy will come in. Once Brandy's weapons box is done, Scott can come and get that. So that'll clear out a car in our back holding area. The Moose, I'm still waiting. I just kind of talked with Jeff today on, we were going through Facebook messages and stuff, and I still have not gotten the material for his headliner. So, and everybody's asking where I got it. Basically, I had to go through Classic Industries. They got me the sun visors and the basket weave. We've got them here. We've got them painted. They're ready to install. But they had to go through their vendor because they do not make cell panels and basket weave. Why, I do not know. So I have to take the originals in Jeff's car and reupholster them. And so they had to go through their vendor that supplies that, and I had to pay the vendor so they would send me the material, and I just never have gotten it. So probably going to have to get a hold of Classic and say, hey guys, it's been 2 freaking months now. So, but once that's done, really Jeff's car, I've got to do a package tray in his. So once that is done, then Jeff's car's out of here. So we're going to talk about, of course, we still got the GTX to do. And then the Cajun Queen. The Cajun Queen right now is rear end's out. Here's the rear end. What we are doing is taking out, okay, so right down here, there's 1, there's 2 right there. Those are the upper trailing arms. And then down here, the ones hanging right here, are the lowers. Right now we're fighting trying to get this bolt off. Chevrolet had a really bad design. The only way to get to the nut on this is up through this hole right here. You guys see that nut up there? Well, it's very hard to get a hold of. And these things have been on there for 50 years. So we're, hopefully tomorrow, me and Mike can figure a way to get those off. And I'm thinking about just custom building a tool so when we do this, because every car that really comes in here, small block wise, we update all the bushings and stuff. So for you guys that aren't car people, here are the bushings. Let me pull this out here into a little bit better light. But can you guys see that? How it's all cracked and rotted and stuff? Those are the original rubber bushings. And they're just complete junk. Here, we'll come up here on, so look at that one. See how that's all ate up and stuff? So we're going to put all new bushings. So these trailing arms, the uppers and lowers, they're going to go to the sandblaster, they're going to get blasted, they're going to get painted, and then they're going to get brand new polyurethane bushings. And we're going to reset the ride so the car has a little bit a higher ass end. Now we've already got Cassie's new shocks on the car right there. This car is getting ready to get undercoated. We are also going to put in new U-joints in our drive shaft. So for car people out there who don't know what U-joints are, that is your U-joint right there. And there's that end, and then here's a better picture of what the U-joint looks like, this cross thing right here. And so it's going to get new U-joints, and then we're going to put in a new transmission filter and gasket. So trying to get this thing all set up, because Cassie, when she comes and picks this thing up, it's going to be driven clear back to Louisiana from Kansas. And so we want to make sure everything is the best that we can do. And also on this rear end, of course, this rear end will get all cleaned up. It's going to get painted. And then it's going to get new drums and all brake shoes and new spring kit and everything. So everything will, when this thing's done, it will look pretty damn new underneath. And we're going to, I think, coat this with the bed liner. It makes it's harder, it's a better undercoating. So that's all going to get done underneath this. And then when the car comes back down, we will put the weapons box in it, and then we will coat the trunk. I always put like a bed liner in that, so that way if any water does ever come back in, it's not going to rot out your floor and stuff. So Cassie's car, of course, it's up on the lift right now, but you can't tell, but her whole dash is done. It has a new dash pad in it. The radio has not been put in for the reason is we're putting in her AC control panel, and I told Cassie that she needed to order a new switch just because it's already out. It's the time to do it, and 9 times out of 10 they go bad anyway. And so Cassie ordered it. It never has come in. I called her today, and she said, oh, guess what? I sent it to my house. So she's getting ready to send it here. But once we get that, we'll put that, install that. We're going to put in new hose for the vents, and we're going to put the radio in. We're going to run it, the wiring, and Cassie, of course, you guys can't see, but this top here came off a 1968 Impala, 4-door hardtop. Same as the 67. Except for where the dome lights go. 68 had them up in the center, almost like your sedans, your 4-door postcars. And so we had a junker 4-door hardtop out there, and I went out and grabbed the brackets, and we've got them installed now. So now she's got the dome lights in the correct places and stuff. So that's what's happening with the Cajun Queen. I know when I do my videos from week to week, people are like, that really didn't happen, or you guys didn't do much, or I thought you guys would be further along. It takes a lot of time to do these cars, and that's something I'd like to talk about, the cost of doing these, because they are so time consuming. That's how come when people that aren't car people, just fans of the show, they're like, oh, I'm just going to get this car and I only want to spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. guys, you're just not going to get much of a car for that. Or if you did find a really super nice car for that, I guarantee you it's going to need work. They all do, and that work is expensive. And these were family grocery getter cars that saw the road every day, and they've been sitting outside for the last 50 years, and they need work, and it's just very time-consuming work. Finding the parts is pretty difficult. So everything adds up, and like I said, I wish everybody could own one of these cars. I really, truly mean that. But to own one of these cars and to actually be doing the work to it or paying somebody to do the work, that, my friends, is a privilege because it takes so much money to do this. I mean, just buying carburetor. A carburetor for a small block, just figure $350. The headers for this thing, I think they're like let's say $250. Then that's not even including the exhaust. And on your intake, if you're going to buy it brand new, that's probably around $300. Your valve covers are going to run you $50. There's just all kinds of things, timing chains and oil pumps and belts and hoses and radiators and front suspension, disc brakes, and this stuff just keeps piling up. I mean, just mounds of cash that it takes to build these cars. And so I always say this is a privilege to get. I mean, it's an honor for me to get to build these cars, but it's a privilege to get to own one. And that's how come I always tell people, when you're at a car show and you see one of these cars and it's all done, and I know everybody freaks out, they all get super excited, and they don't know how to act around the car. And if you go back and listen to my videos, I've talked about it like numerous times, but they will damage the car. And to them, they don't understand how much it costs to get that part fixed. I've seen antennas snapped. I've seen scratches in paint. I've seen gouges in interiors. I've just seen stuff stolen. And these people that are building these cars, I guarantee you, none of them are extremely rich. They might have good jobs, and I guarantee even with their good jobs, they are sacrificing to do these cars because it's not cheap. And our shop here, we are probably well below that line to get these cars done. And if you took one of these cars to any other shop in the United States, I guarantee you it would probably be double the price than what people are paying us. And I think we're still high, but this is something that, I've been doing cars for a very, very long time. And so when I do my work, I was always doing my own stuff, so I was never getting paid for it. And now I'm on that end where I'm doing stuff for people, and then you got to charge, and to keep the lights on in this building and everything going, it takes a lot of money. It's just expensive to live today. I don't have to explain that to you guys. Healthcare is way crazy. I could get on a tangent about that, or just the cost of living. And so that makes, because the cost of living is so high, to even own one of these cars and being done. There's lots of people out there that own these cars. There's actually a lot of them being tried to be built today. And I never wanted to sound arrogant or anything like that, or like a big asshole. But I've told a lot of people, a lot of those cars aren't going to be built, guys. And the reason for it is, one, these cars right here are a fan car. In the hot rod world, in the muscle car world, this car is nothing. It is a different world that these cars belong in. And that's because of the fandom's driven up the price on them. And so therefore, when they buy these cars, because they're fans, and they're like, I just paid $3,000 for this car. Awesome. They don't have the money to fix it up. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just, that's reality. Or they don't have the knowledge to do this. I mean, and I'm, once again, don't come after me and say, oh, Rick, just because, it takes a certain skill set to build one of these cars, to build a car right. Trust me, this car that came in here, Venator, was fiberglassed up. It was done wrong. I mean, I could just, my God, I could write a book on it. Cassie's car, nothing was done wrong on it. It was just rotted out. And so everything had to be completely, I think we joke about it, the only thing original on Cassie's car are the doors and the frame. Everything else is pretty much new. On Sammy over here, it's needed a lot of work. He knows it. We've had to put new quarters on it, new floors, new trunk braces, new trunk floors, not floor pans, but trunk floors, new trunk bracing in. It's just been, and most of the people that are fans of these cars, like I said, are not car people. They don't have that skill set to build it. If they do, they probably don't have a big garage to work on this big car, or they don't have the tools. And then once all that, then you got to have the time to do it. And like I said, over a week, sometimes I look around here and I'm like, yeah, this has been done. I wish we were further, and it's not because I think we're slow or anything like that. It's just, it takes a long time. And I've got a room full of cars beyond this room right here at that door in our holding cell. And just in case anybody's ever wondered, I call this the holding cell because those are the cars that are come up onto production floor. So I put Sam and Dean, their mug shots there because holding cell, get it? But anyway, I got lots of cars back there. I've got Stevens that lives in England, what I call Queenie. It'll be coming up. I got Stephen Hornback, my good buddy in Kentucky. That car's going to be coming up. I got Nadine in Washington. That car's going to be coming up. I got Rod back there. And Rod's car's going to, I believe, California. And it's going to be coming up. And then I've also got Eddie and Angela's Impala. That's going to be coming up. And that car is going over to Holland. And then I've got a car coming in, Travis Purdue's old car down in Florida. It's coming up. I'm picking it up Tuesday in St. Louis. A customer bought that, and it's going to get completely redone. And then we got Travis's car that's going to be coming in. So, and we're going to be building it. So that's not even including mine out there. There's 2 videos before this one. I did one on my car, and there's also one on Super Dave's Impala out there. And that's not even including those cars. Mine will go down to the farm and get built by me on nights and weekends and holidays and all that stuff. So it won't be up in here in the shop taking up a spot that you guys deserve. Oh, and then, we got the GTX that needs work, and then we got Matthew's Joe sitting right here, and we still got a local truck. Oh, and then if you want to talk, there's still our personal car that hasn't been anything done to it. And then the 32. It's a lot of work for 3 guys. And, I'm trying to keep everything straight going, making sure parts, I mean, it's a lot of leg work. And then, Dawn and Mike are out here kicking ass. I'm coming out when I can to wrench and get things done, to help things move along. It's a lot. And before anybody, I am not burned out. I am not bitching. I'm just saying it's a lot of work. And so when we see this here in the shop, this is just what's been in here for some time. And each week you kind of go, that's all they did? Trust me, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. And especially when you get to this stage where it's wet sanding and polishing. These are huge cars. Takes forever. And like I said, Don hates it. I don't blame him.